Hello everyone and welcome to today's session. Today we are going to make a contact animation button. Okay, so basically this button is something that we created for our own website, and today we are going to recreate the whole animation. Okay, so we'll be first looking at how the animation works and how you can exactly replicate the whole animation in your own systems and in your own files. And it's just, no libraries or anything external is involved other than the icons. So you'll be just using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. And let me just share my screen, and someone please just let me know whether you can see the screen or not. Anyone just say visible in the chat box, and I guess that would be enough. Okay, thank you so much guys for responding. And yeah, so now you can see the screen. Okay, so as I told you, here I have my code editor towards the left and the browser towards the right, and this is what we're gonna do. We are having three files here. Okay, one is index.html. If I show you the folder structure, we have index.html file, and then we have style.css, it's empty, and then we have app.js, that is also empty. Okay, so three files which are there. Index.html, all I have done is just created the boilerplate code, which you can do by pressing exclamation mark. So shift 1 and then press tab. You're gonna get this code right here. Okay, let me just do it for you again. So exclamation tab, and you're gonna get this. And here what I've done is I have just changed the title to today's title, that is contact button animation. Okay, contact button animation. And also what I've done is, let us link our CSS file. So link CSS, so this is going to link our CSS file to our HTML file. And also, as I told you, we also have a JavaScript file. So right now itself, let's go ahead and link it to our HTML file. So we link our JavaScript files towards the end of the body section of HTML. So right before this body tag closes, we're going to add this file. So it's going to be script src, and we're going to write app.js. Okay, because that is the name of my JavaScript file. That is why I'm doing this. So this is what we need to get started, and I'm just gonna write here hello world and just check it out. So I'm using a plugin that is known as Live Server. So you can just go ahead inside the extension tab in VS Code, and here you can search for Live Server, and all it does is that it removes the need of refreshing your code every time that, refreshing your browser every time you make a change. So by default, if you want to open this file, it's going to look like this. And if you make a change here, let's say you write hello Doko Nation, okay, and you save it, you see that that thing is happening. But on the other hand, the one which has the live server running, it automatically updated, and to update this one, you'll have to reload this. So to get rid of that, we will use this particular extension, which is Live Server by Ritwik Day. So go ahead, install it, and you'll just get it by right clicking on the code and then click on open with Live Server. That's how I did it, and now I have this running. Let's quickly do another check here. Let's again go back to hello world and save it, and you can see that we have hello world again. So I hope all of you are with me. Just give me a yes if you are and you are done till here. This is nothing, this is just setup. Okay, great. Okay, let's move ahead. So first of all, let's have a look at the original design what we are going to make. Okay, so let me show you the original design. So we are going to go to dokogen.com, that's the official website for .com generations, and we are going to scroll down or just click on the contact link of this, and you're going to see that here we have a contact form, and here we have a contact button. Okay, you can see this small button, and when we hover on it, it has a small animation, and when you click on it, you see this appears, and then when you click on it again, it just disappears. Okay, so this is what we are going to make today. Okay, so this is the animation that we are going to make today. So let's have a look at it and decide the structure of HTML. Okay, this is something that you should always do before you start coding. So the structure of HTML in this particular animation, or the element that we have, is that we need a container basically to have all of these designs. Okay, all of these elements basically, and then we have a small button here, Okay, and then as you can see there's this gray outline here which is actually growing to become this whole background for this. Okay, so that means we have two divs there. Okay, one is the background and one is the container for the button, and then we have all these different links. Okay, so this is what we have one container to contain everything, then we have one what do we call it, one icon basically. Okay, one icon, and then we have all of these links, and that's it. This is all that we need. Kishore is asking whether you need any prerequisites. So prerequisites as in, Kishore, can you please explain? Like this is a basic animation that will create using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So this is a hands-on session, so I'll be just writing the code and you can just follow along with it, and I'll be explaining what we are doing along the way. Okay, so I don't think so you need any prerequisites for this. And if you are totally new to web development and also, you won't understand the things that we are doing, but yeah, if you can follow along and you'll have a great project till the end of this. Okay, I hope that was what you're asking. Okay, you can even unmute and you can ask your questions if you have any. There's no restriction. Okay, so let's go ahead and start making this. So first of all, we need the container that is going to have this whole circle icon and the animation. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a div with a class of container. Okay, so you make a div with a class of container. Inside that you are gonna have all of your icons, correct? All of your icons inside that, and that is going to be the container for the element what we just saw. So we just saw that we have this here, and you can see that this gray thing, okay, we are gonna make this gray thing, so that is gray background is gonna hold all of these things, all of these contact icons and the toggler as well. Okay, we are gonna call this toggler or floating action button like you have in Android. Okay, so you can call it anything that you want. So yeah, let's call this background as icons. So I'm gonna write dot icons. Okay, icons, and then press tab, and it is going to create a div for me with the class of icons. So these are just Emmet abbreviations that VS Code or Visual Studio Code provides us by default, and in other editors like Sublime Text and all, you need to add a plugin for Emmet, and then you'll also be able to use this shortcut to create elements with different classes or IDs, whatever you want. Okay, so let's get back to this. So inside this icon, as we saw in the website, okay, we have this particular icon. Okay, the blue icon. So let's make the blue icon. So I'm gonna call my blue icon as FAB. Okay, so this is an Android or mobile dev word which is floating action button, so I'm gonna use that here. And in this you can see there's just one plus icon, so I'm just gonna write plus. Okay, so this plus is going to be my button like this. Okay, so right now it's just a plus, nothing else, but yeah, we'll do the styling later on. We are just structuring the HTML code right now, and we'll do the styling later on, and then JavaScript after that. Okay, step by step we'll move in. So yeah, we have the container, the whole page where we'll contain this. We have the icons, the background for this, and then we have the floating action button, which is the blue icon with the plus symbol. Okay, and after that we just have all the links that we want. Okay, all the links that we need. It's just that what we have now. So let's add those. Okay, so let's add those. How are we gonna do that? So I'm gonna use links for them. Okay, so each of those buttons are gonna act as link, because here if I click on it, let's say email, this is gonna email. Okay, this is gonna move towards calling, this is gonna move towards the YouTube channel, this is going to take me to the LinkedIn profile. If I click on it, you can see that a new tab opens. So all of these small buttons here are actually links. Okay, so that is why we need to create them as a tag. A is basically link. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. Let me just, if you have any doubts at any place, just do let me know anytime. You can unmute or you can drop them in the chat box. Okay, also if you face any lag, just let me know. Okay, let's go ahead and make them. So here what we have is, let us call this a tag as, we'll give it a class of icon. Okay, so all of these will have a class of icon, and inside the icon I'm gonna create icon. So for icon, let's use a third-party library called as Font Awesome. Okay, so there's a library that provides you with cool icons. So what you can do is you can search for Font Awesome CDM on Google, and from here just select the first link, which is cdnjs.com. Okay, select this one. Let me increase the width a little bit, and this is the page that you have to go to, and on this you can see the first link here. Okay, so all you have to do is click on this link tag. Okay, copy link tag and copy it, come back to your code, and right before your own CSS drop this Font Awesome file. Okay, and I am gonna give this file to you guys in the chat box so that you can just grab it from the chat box and add it to your code. Okay, that easy. So this will now allow us to add icons, and what are those icons gonna look like? For that I'm gonna search for Font Awesome icons, and now I can click on this link, which will have all the icons in this particular library. So Font Awesome is a library of a lot of icons which have like solid icons, outlined icons, brand icons, and everything. So here you can see different icons are available here. Okay, so a lot of icons available here. Now I can search for, let's say, Instagram. Okay, wait, this version thing, I'll have to remove the filter. Okay, so now you see when I search Instagram, it is showing me two types of Instagram icons, and now I can use any one of them. Okay, so that's how I'm gonna use it. So let me just grab only one icon. Okay, click on the icon and you will see a code. Okay, here you can see that it says copy HTML. So just go ahead, click on it, copy the HTML code and drop it here where you need it. So I need it in the A tag. Okay, and let's save it. And now if you go to your own website, you're gonna see that you have the plus icon and also an Instagram icon. Okay, so that's how you do it. Let me drop the Font Awesome icon code to you guys in the chat box. So that is the one that we use to add Instagram, and in the same way you can add multiple different icons for your code. Okay, how much ever you need, just go ahead, search for it in this particular website. Okay, Font Awesome website, and whatever the code is here given, just copy it and add it to your code and you will have the icon. Okay, that's how you do that. Next, I'll just copy this for now and paste it below a few times. Okay, so let's count the number of icons that we have here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 icons are there. So let me just copy this. 1 2 3 4 and 8. So now I have 8 different icons here. Okay, not different though, but 8 icons, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the icons at the end. Right now we are just doing the HTML part, so I'm just going to leave it all Instagram and focus on styling it more. Okay, so now you can see that I have 1 2 3 8 times Instagram icons and one plus icon. Okay, so this is all that we need to add inside the HTML. So how many of you are with me? Let me check how many of you are with me. How many of you are done with it till this point? Okay, Akshat is done. You are not getting icon. Akshat, Khosya. Okay. Did you put the right link? We have to put it inside the head of the HTML. Okay, like this, before your own CSS file, right here. This is where you add. Okay. Once you add it here and then use this particular HTML code that I sent you, then you will be able to get it. No, you don't have that integrity and cross origin code, right? Use the exact same that you get online on cdnjs.com, because your particular link just has the href, that means the hyperlink reference of the CSS file, but you also need the integrity file, that is like a authentication code for you to access it. Okay, so I have sent the whole link tag, copy it and then add it. Okay, with the integrity and cross origin and refer policy. Okay, you can do that. Others are done with it, right? Parth is done with it, Aditi is done with it, okay, Akshat is done with it. That's great, that's great. Shreyas is done with it, and Anushka is done with it. Okay, great. So let's move forward, and now what we're gonna do is let's start designing or start styling basically the whole icon set. Okay, let's start the styling part. So we'll go to style.css, and this is kind of a boilerplate code, okay, that you just add to every single every single of your CSS files before you start styling. Okay, this is something that is not defined anywhere, but I prefer, or I basically advise people to do this anytime you are styling your website. Just do this for your website so that you don't have any browser applied styling from by default basically. Okay, so browser has some styling, as you can see right now you have some space from the top and the left. So this is default styling from browser. Okay, and in the same way you have default styling for all different elements. So to just get rid of all those styling elements and everything, we do this so that we get an empty canvas for our whole page, and then we can style everything that we want in our own way. So let's do that. So we'll make margin 0, and we'll make the padding of every single element 0. Okay, let me just write it. Padding is 0, and then the last thing we'll do is we'll say that the box sizing is border box. Okay, so now you can see that this plus icon and the Instagram icons are sticking to the top left corner of the page, and all that styling that we had till now is now gone. Okay, so that is why we basically did that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna style the container. Okay, as you can see that everything is inside the container, so basically container is my main element that holds everything together. So let's do that. So I'm gonna select container like this, dot container, and inside this, first of all, I'm gonna do is background color, and I'm gonna use a dark background color. Okay, so a dark background color of hash 08090A. Okay, so this is not black but close to black and towards the bluish hue area. Okay, so that's what we are using here. If I save it, you can see that this particular line which has all of these icons and all, this is our container, right? It became dark. And then what we can say is we can say that the color of text or icons inside this area should be what? So we can say that the color should be light, so we can use a whitish shade, so that's why we'll use F6. F6 is also not white because white is hash FFFFFF, okay, 6 times F, but F6 is a little bit in the grayer area but close to white. So you should not use pitch black or pitch white. It is a kind of design aesthetics that you will learn about, or design rules we definitely mainly call them, that you should not use pitch black or pitch white colors but use the colors that are close to them. Okay, so this is just something that you should keep in mind while making your websites. So once you have the background color and the color set, now what we can do is we can define the width and height of this whole container. So let's say the width of this container is going to be 100%. Okay, so the whole page width, and also the height is also gonna be 100 VH. Okay, so 100 VH basically means the whole screen size. Okay, VH means viewport height. Viewport is the size of your screen. Okay, so it behaves like percentage, but it is based on the size of your screen. So that is what we are using here. So width is 100%, height is 100 VH, and you can see that it is here. Now what we can do is we can bring everything to the center, because that's where we need the animation, right? We don't want it at the top left corner. So let's bring everything to the center. To center everything, one of the most famous and one of the most easiest techniques is by using flexbox. So we'll be doing display flex. Then we'll be using two properties which we get on display flex, which is justify content center and align items center. Once you do that, you'll see that everything that you had sticking towards the top left corner, you now have it in the center. Okay, that is why we do this. Now what we'll do is, now we're gonna style the background element that we have here. Okay, this gray element, because now we have this in this particular website, this area, okay, this small box area which is invisible where I am hovering right now, this is basically your container. So in this page, the whole page becomes container. Okay, that's the only difference. And now we are gonna style this gray background. Okay, that's what we are gonna do in this gray background. So let's style this gray background and see how it looks. So for the background, what is the class that we have used? So the class we have used is icons. So let's style it. So here dot icons is gonna be width is going to be 100%. Okay, and then height is going to be 100 VH. Okay, so we'll just do this right now because we are gonna change everything, position and everything, and you'll notice what happens with it. Okay, so once you do that, again it becomes, you know, fully distorted, and we'll have to bring everything in center again. So let me just quickly copy paste this stuff here, and you'll find everything in center once again. And right now the plus icon and the Instagram icons all are in a row because right now we are inside the icons class, and everything here becomes in a row if you add the display flex property. Okay, so for that you need to study about flexbox, and also I'm not going deep inside anything. This is just a hands-on session, so I'll not be going deep, but yeah, that's what flex does. It just makes everything come inside a row. Okay, horizontally it arranges everything one beside the other. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the background color for this so that we can actually notice how it looks like. So the gray color we are using here is hash 6 times 2. Okay, so 6 times 2, and if I save it, you'll see that now everything became this. So to make it into a circle, we have a cool property known as clip path. So clip path, we are gonna say circle, and now what we can say it, we can just make it like 200 pixels or something, and now you will see that we have a circle. Okay, a gray circle that we need. So this is what we are basically looking for. Okay, let's make it a little bit smaller. So let's say like 150 pixels or maybe 180 pixels. Yeah, so this is how it is going to look like at the end. So first of all, we are just making the end product. Okay, no animation, nothing. We are just trying to achieve this style. Okay, the whole circle open, the small button in the between, blue button with the X. Okay, that plus icon turned 45 degrees to make an X, and then we have all of these icons. So first we are gonna make this, and then we'll focus on animating it. Okay, to open and close. So this thing we'll do at the end by JavaScript, but right now we are just making the whole final product, how it is going to look like through CSS. Okay, because this is the main concept of animation. Okay, so animation's core concept is that you have a starting point and you have an ending point, and I say this in all the sessions that I take wherever animation is involved. Okay, so wherever animation is there, you have an initial position and you have a final or destination position that you go to. So that's how animation happens. So here we are creating the final position first, and then we'll manipulate the starting and final position using JavaScript. So till here, all of you have, or those who are coding with me, have you got this gray circle in your device? Let's see how many of you have this gray circle. Okay, Anushka, Shreyas, Akshat, both the Akshats, great. Even Parth has it, great. Even Jayashri has it, that's great. Okay, great, good. So let's now move ahead and start styling the and start styling this whole thing. Kishore is asking where to code. You can use CodePen, you can code online, there's no problem in that. Okay, there are a lot of different code editors. You can use Notepad also if you want, but you won't get that live server thing. So Notepad, Sublime Text, Brackets, Atom, all of these are great IDEs. You can use anyone. Okay, so shall we move forward with the next step? Okay, fine, let's go. Great. So the next step here we are going to do is we are going to style this small plus icon. Okay, that is what we are going to style right now, which is the small plus icon, the blue colored icon. So let's do that. Let us check what class we gave it to it. So we gave the class of FAB. So let's grab that and style it. So FAB, and this is going to be a small circle. So what we can do is we can create a box and then again use the same clip path property, or we can manipulate the border radius. So let's make a square. So we're gonna say that height of this particular square is equal to, let's say, 70 pixels, and if height is 70, then width should also be 70 pixels. So that now we create a square, and let's change the background color to actually see what's happening. So the background color for that blue is 0085FF. Okay, so by making all of these different websites for Dokogen and everything, and now I have all the codes memorized for all the colors. But yeah, you can use this. It's called 0085FF. It is also known as Dodger Blue. Okay, so this color also has a name. It's not something that we have kept, but yeah, it has a name on its own. It's called Dodger Blue. So that code is 0085FF. So you can go ahead and keep that particular code, or you can use any other color that you want. But yeah, we are going with this. So you can see the box that has been created on the screen, right? So we have a box, and now what we can do is we can just say that border radius is equal to, or colon, basically 50%. Okay. So now you will see that it has become a circle, and now you again want to center everything. So center, we have the code right here. Copy it, paste it here, display flex, justify content center, line item center, and there you have it. You have your plus icon in the center. Great. What else can we do here? What else can we do here? We can say that we can increase the font size a little bit so that plus is more prominent. So let's do that. So font size in this one will become, let's say, 32 pixels. Let's see. Yeah, looking good. We can then change the font weight also. Font weight is basically the thickness of the font. So let's make it like 700. Okay, maybe 800 would do. Yeah, so 800 looks fine. So here we have our plus icon, the small blue icon ready with us. Okay, that is what we need. Now, what next can we do here? One more thing I notice here is that when I hover over this blue icon on the original design that we are making or replicating right now, that my cursor, as you can see, it's normal cursor right now, but when I come over this, it starts behaving as if this is a button, right? You can see that whenever I hover over it, the cursor becomes a pointer. So that can be manipulated using a property known as cursor. So we can say that whenever our cursor is on this particular element, it should become a pointer. So save it, and now you can see that whenever I hover over this or interact with this, my cursor is a pointer now. So that's also very important. Now, after this FAB, the floating action button, now we can move towards styling the icons. Okay, all of these icons. So let's do that. So first of all, let me so that we don't run into any problems, I'm gonna comment all of these icons, and I am just gonna style one of them. Okay, only one. I'm gonna style them because the class icon is applied to everyone. So first I'm gonna focus on one, and then I'm gonna enable everyone so that you can see it. Okay, so just so you because right now if I start styling, everything is just gonna go here and there. That is why I'm just gonna style one and then enable it so that you can see what happened. So now you can see that we just have one Instagram icon. So now let's just go ahead to style.css and start styling it. So the class is .icon, and in this one, first of all, we need to place it on the circle, right? We need to place it one by one. So that means what we'll do is we'll say position is going to be absolute. Okay, so that we can place it wherever we want, and now you can see it in the center. Okay, so right now we are just going to style it first and then do it. So this icon should be a little bit smaller than the original blue icon, right? If this is 70 pixels, then this should be less than that. So what we'll do is let us choose a smaller height and width. So let me just copy this whole thing from here, bring it back here, and instead of 70 pixels, we're going to say 60 pixels. And the background color is going to change here to the yellow color, and the yellow color's code is FFBD00. Okay, that's the code for the yellow color. And now if I save this, you can see that I have the yellow icon there, but Instagram again is towards the top left. So we need to bring it to the center. Again, copy the same center code, display flex, justify content center, align item center, and you have that Instagram icon here. One more thing I see is that the Instagram icon is a link. That's why it has underline and an ugly purple color that links usually have. So we need to remove that. So we can say that the color of these icons, and because this is yellow color, so we need a dark color. So color should be 08090A, the dark color that we are using. And there should be no text decoration. Text decoration is basically that underline or strike through, all of that stuff. And now we can even increase the font size a little bit, okay, so that we can see the icon properly. So let's make the font size as 24 pixels or something. Yep, looks good. And we can also, yeah, I guess we can make it like 26 or something. Yeah, 26 looks fine. 26 is much better than 24. So yeah, we'll see with other icons as well. And now what we can do is we can go back to index.html, and enable this, okay, so that we can get all of them. So right now all of those icons are sitting here on top of each other. Okay, if I remove position absolute, you'll see what happens. Okay, so this is what I was talking about, that all the icons just, they're just gonna go mad like this. That's why I removed the HTML code. But yeah, position absolute, it is stacking them on one over the other in the window that you are in. Okay, so behind this Instagram icon there's one more, and there are 8 icons like that, and then we get to our blue icon. So now what, what problem are we facing here? Okay, the problem that we are facing here is that we need to place them one by one like this. Okay, we need to place one on the top, one on the bottom, one on the left side, one on the right side, like that. We need to place all of them. So what we'll do is, let us just give them some specific classes. So let's say the first icon is for calling. Okay, the first icon that we are going to use is for calling, and then second icon we are going to use is for, let's say, email. Okay, whatever it is, just we can say it's email. And then the third icon, I'm just moving like this. Okay, call, email, and then this is newsletter icon. Okay, so this is going to be the newsletter icon. So what we can call it is, we can call it news, small name so that we don't forget. So we'll add that name here, news. Then what do we have here? We have location, so let's add that, location. Okay, then we have, next one is WhatsApp, so WhatsApp. This one is going to be Instagram, so we can write Insta. This one is going to be LinkedIn, we can say LinkedIn. And while we are at it, we are also going to change the icons now. Okay, so now we are going to change the icons as well, and this one is going to be YouTube. So to change the icons, because all of them, most of them are brand icons, so what we can do is, WhatsApp is going to be FA WhatsApp. Okay, and then this one is going to be FA LinkedIn, and this one is going to be FA YouTube. Okay, this is because I have been using Font Awesome for a long time, so I remember the the classes that you use for this. Like, I know for email we need to use FAS space FA envelope. Okay, so we're gonna use this one. And for calling also we're gonna use FAS. FAS is basically Font Awesome Solid icons. Okay, Font Awesome Solid. And here we're gonna use something known as Phone Alt. And if you save it now, you just see the Instagram icon. Let it reload. So now you see the YouTube icon, because that is the one that is on the last one. Okay, so this is sitting on top of LinkedIn, on top of Instagram, on top of WhatsApp, on top of location, like that. It is sitting on top of each other, one by one, one by one. So I'll just wait here for a second, and let's see if you guys have completed till here, because I added a few classes and I changed the icons. If you want, you can not change the icon right now. You just have to add the classes so that you know what you're doing. So let me know if you have added these classes. Not got the phone icon. It's called FAS. Look, wait, I'll just drop it in. Okay, so this, oh sorry, this is the phone icon. Okay, Akshat Khosia is done with it. Great. This is the envelope. I'm gonna drop all the icons so that you can get it easily. This Instagram you already have. Okay, and okay, sorry, this is the news one. Now I did not add for news. So news one is basically like Bell. So FAS FA Bell. So this one is for Bell. Instagram you already have. This is for WhatsApp. Okay, and for WhatsApp, LinkedIn and all, you just have to change Instagram and then write WhatsApp, LinkedIn and YouTube. That's how you change it. Okay, so till now only Akshat has done it. Akshat Khosia has done it. What about others? Okay, Akshat Mittal also done. Great. I have dropped all the icons in the chat box so that it will be easy for you to get them. Okay. Great. So shall we move ahead? Continue with this? just write let's go in the chat box and we'll move ahead with this. Okay, Aditi is also done with it. That's great. That's great. Shreyas is done with it. Location is left. Acha, okay. Let me drop location as well. 1 second. For location, the icon is called map. There's an extension also. Okay, so it's called map marker alt. There's an extension in VS Code for Font Awesome, so you can use that also to get these icons quickly. So yeah, I have dropped the location icon as well. You can grab it. And let's now move towards styling these small icons and bringing them towards the their exact place that we need them. Okay, so let me just go to style.css and we will start with the first icon that we have, which is the phone icon. Okay, so what do we call it here? We call it icon and then call. Okay, so that is the name of that icon. Okay, call. So let's do that. Let's start writing the CSS for this call. So all we need to do is that we need to basically move it, right? We need to move it towards the left side. So for that, how do we do that? I'm gonna say that icon dot call, that whenever icon and call are together, this is what you do. So I'm gonna say transform translate in the X direction. Okay, and it should translate towards the S direction in the left side, so that's minus 120 pixels. Save it and you will see that the call icon is now moved towards left. That is why we made it position absolute. Okay, that is the sole reason we did that. Next, what we can do is we can select the next icon, which is email. Okay, email. So I'll just copy this, paste it below 8 times so that we have all of them. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and then one more time 8. So the second one is going to be dot email, and email has to go towards the top left corner. Okay, like that. So it needs to move in the X direction as well as in the Y direction. Okay, so I already have the values because you have to first of all figure out the values. So Pythagoras theorem. Okay, right angles like this, 120 to 120, and then you will find the middle location that you have to go to reach that particular point. So yeah, Pythagoras theorem sometimes comes to use in your web dev journey also. So yeah, it's 84 pixels basically. So we need to go 84 pixels in the X direction and 84 pixels in the Y direction. That's how you're gonna reach that position. So translate X 84 and translate Y also minus 84 pixels. Once you do that, you will see that an envelope also has traveled to that point where we need it. Okay, let's do the same with all the other icons. So now we need the news icon. So news icon is straightforward. Translate Y minus 120, and this is going to be dot news. Save it and you will see the news icon come here. And in the same way we're going to do for everything else. So let me do that quickly. So after news, what do we have here? We have location, WhatsApp, Insta. Okay, let's do that. So we have location, we have WhatsApp, and we have Insta. What else do we need here? LinkedIn and YouTube. So let's add them, LinkedIn and YouTube. Now you already have the values for all the corners and everything. So what we can do is we can just change them. So news is already on top, and then location should move here. So that means the same X and Y position, just in the positive direction. Okay, both of them in the, sorry, not both. X is positive and Y is still negative. So save it and you'll find that here. Okay, location icon we are not getting. Let me just grab it from the internet itself. Not this ad, sorry. Location. Let's use this one, or maybe just search for that only. Map marker. Yeah, this one. Grab the HTML. Okay, I did not remove, I guess, FAB. Okay, that was the problem. FAS. Now we'll get it. Yeah, okay. So now we have the location icon here, and then WhatsApp will come here. So this is going to be translate X plus 120. Yep, we have the WhatsApp icon. Instagram is going to be both in the positive direction, so grab it, paste it here, remove the minus signs. Instagram is here. LinkedIn is just going to be in the Y direction, positive, save it. And the last one, it's gonna be X in the minus direction and Y in the plus direction. So now you see that we have the final product. Okay, we have the final product, and all we need to do is animate it from its initial position. So this is the final position that we want to go to. And now what we'll do is we are going to create some extra classes. Okay, so till then, before we move on to that point, let me know how many of you are done with this. Do you have the final product what we are making? Don't think that Pythagoras will be used here. No, it will be used, but like there will be two things that will be used, so you can calculate the distance and all. Okay, or more easier than that would be to just use a design tool like Figma and keep all of these icons together and then measure the distance using the ruler. Very easy. Akshat is done with it. Parth is not getting the icons at place. It's okay, Parth, just try using this properly again. Okay, check the code if you have done anywhere wrong, or wait till the end and we'll help you debug your code. Okay, the CSS code is right in front of you. Make sure that you haven't done any mistake in that. What about others? Are you done with it? Those who are doing? Okay, others are still doing. Okay, so most of you are done. Basically, I can see Aditi and Akshat have found their mistakes and they have done it. Okay, Anushka did some mistakes. Okay, the code is right in front of you. Try fixing it here or just watch along the session, and after that you will get the code also through CodePen and you can find it and you can fix your mistakes. And towards the end of the session also we can fix your bugs right here. Okay, so let me quickly move on to the next part, which is to animate this. Okay, to animate this whole thing. And how to do that, we are going to focus on the one animation only. Okay, the animation that we're going to focus on is that when we click on the button it should open. Okay, so no hover or anything like that, just one animation, which is the main animation here, which is when I click on this icon it should open. That is the animation that we're going to focus on. So let's focus on that and move forward with it. So basically, as I told before also during the session, that animation works on the concept of initial and final position, right? So we need the initial position and final position. So we go from initial to final. So this is the final position that we already have with us, right? This is the final position. Now we need to create the initial position. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create some different classes. Okay, I'm going to create different classes to basically what do we call that, basically resemble the initial and final position. Okay, so to actually enact that property change from initial to final, we'll have some CSS classes, and then through JavaScript we're going to change those classes by click. Okay, so let's do that. So first of all, what we'll do here is we have to add one more property here in the icons. Okay, the YouTube link will be given to you inside the community after the session is over. Okay, so then this whole session will be uploaded on YouTube and then you can watch it again. Okay, so let's get back to this. So what you need to do is that in the icons we need to add one more property here that's known as position relative, so that whatever we are styling inside it and wherever we'll place all of these elements, they are relative to our this particular section, which is the gray section, and not anything else on the page. So that's why we'll add this. And then also we'll add one more thing, is that we'll now create a pseudo class or a dummy class to depict the open state of this particular animation. Okay, so right now this is open state, but we want that happening on whenever that class is added. So let's do that. So I'm going to write here that icons dot open. So what happens is that whenever icons and open both are together, okay, so here I'm gonna say that the clip path circle is going to be very small, okay, it's gonna be very small, just the amount that we need there. So if I say like 40 pixels, and this is going to be icons dot open, okay, so by default this is going to be, otherwise it's going to be this. And if now I go ahead and add a class of open here, and again in the style.css, let me remove this clip path from here, you will see that it does not make any difference right now. But if I remove this open class from HTML and save it, you can see that everything just collapsed. So basically this is the animation. What do we want to do? Whenever I click on this plus icon, I want that here, right there where my cursor is in the HTML, I want that a class of open should be added, because when that happens and I save it, you can see that it opened, right? That is what we need to happen. That is what we need. So if I again remove open and save it, you can see that it's back on its place. That is what we need. So again, let me add open just so we can do other animations as well. Okay, so this is one of the animation. Okay, can you explain one more time? Okay, I am getting the opposite result. Okay, that's because I guess you did not notice I have changed them. So basically icons dot open has the final position, and the original design, as you can see, circle clip path has smaller radius for the circle. Okay, so animation basically, if I have to explain again, it works on the concept of initial and final position. So right now in icons, the initial style says that the clip path circle should be 40 pixels only. Okay, so if there is nothing like open here, and if I save it, then this is the style which is being applied to this particular element. That is what is happening. But as you can see that here I have dot icons dot open. Okay, so whenever this particular class also has a class of open alongside it, okay, alongside it, then what will happen is it is going to apply this style. Okay, so I hope that made it clear with you. Okay, whatever your doubt was in this, that's how it is happening. So this is how you manipulate. So if you don't know about dummy classes and animation, then you will find it difficult to understand. But yeah, this is what the concept is. So yeah, this is how we get this open, and this is how this whole thing opens. Now what we're gonna do is we are gonna do one more thing, which is that we need to move all of these icons whenever we open them. As let's see what we're doing here is we are gonna scale everything down and then up, right? Because those icons are coming from the center basically whenever we have that. Okay, so let's do one thing, that here also we can add that whenever icons.open is present. Okay, let me just copy this, and before every icon, okay, wherever you have written this whole thing, before every icon dot whatever element that is, paste icons.open. Okay, paste it and add a space, paste it and add a space. So let me do that quickly everywhere. Let me do alt click click click, paste it, add a space. Now save it, and now what will happen is that when there is open inside this, and then it will be like the final product. Let us have a look at it. You can see it is like that, and when I remove open, everything is gonna collapse in the center. Okay, so if I add open again, let me add it, open, save, you can see everything expanded, and when I remove open, everything just collapsed again. This is the animation through one class only, through one single class, that is the open class that we are adding to icons. We are doing all of this animation through just one class. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to get rid of these icons when they are generally on our element. So what we need to do is we need to increase the Z index of our blue button. So we are going to go towards FAB, and we are going to say that this Z index is going to be like 99 or something, a high value, so that it comes on top of everything. Okay, and once you do that, you will find that now you can see the proper look of this whole thing. But it won't work because we haven't written the JavaScript code to make it work. So now if I add one more time here in HTML, open, and save it, you can see that we are getting the open state, and if I remove open, then we are getting the closed state. So this is the animation what we'll be doing here through JavaScript. Okay, this is what we are going to do. We are going to add the class whenever we click, and when we click again, we're going to remove the class. So we are going to toggle this just like a switch, okay, in our code. So when we click turn on, that means open class added to the element, and we click again, turn off, and then remove the open class. That is what we want to do in this particular animation. Okay, like this, open and then remove it, close. Did you get it what we are going to do? Yeah, okay, let me show the CSS file. Okay, CSS file, I made changes here, FAB, and then I made changes here. So I just put icons.open. So I placed a condition here that whenever icons and open are present together, then only apply this style. Okay, that's why when it is open, only then they expand. Okay, that's what's happening there. Okay, let's move forward to the next part, which is JavaScript. Okay, so right now the animations are not smooth and everything, but yeah, we'll make them smooth. But once we should get the functionality running, and then we will do the smoothness and everything else that you want to add. So go ahead to the JavaScript file. And how many of you know JavaScript already or know the basics? Let's see. How many of you know about the DOM and how to select elements, the selectors, query selectors and all, event listeners? Okay, if you know about it, that's great. Otherwise, this is going to be just basic JavaScript, okay, and only 5 to 6 lines of code, not more than that. Okay, so just follow along to achieve this particular animation. Okay, so let's do that. First of all, this is what almost every developer says, that grab all your elements that you need from your screen to the JavaScript file. So what do we need? We need this button, so we need the FAB, and we also need the icons, the thing which we are growing and then applying the class to. We need this div class, right? We need that. So let's grab both of them. So this is how you grab anything from the screen. You write const and you declare a variable basically. So one variable is fab, which is going to be equal to document.querySelector. Okay, so you can use get element by ID if you know how to do that, get element by class name. I am going to use query selector, and inside this I will write the class name. So I want to grab FAB. The next thing I want to grab is my icons background. So I'm going to call that variable as icons, and I'm going to say again document.querySelector icons. Okay, dot icons, because both are classes. So now I have access to both the elements that are on my screen, the FAB and also the icons. Now what I can do is I can listen for some events on the FAB. Okay, so the event that I want to be listening for is called as click. I want to listen for the click event, that whenever I click on the FAB, something should happen. So let's do that. So what we'll do is I'm going to grab FAB, that's our variable which has the element on the screen. So FAB dot add event listener, and inside this, inside single quotes, you will write click. Okay, so click is our event which we are tracking basically, which we are listening for on the page. So we are tracking the click event, and then we are performing some function. So this is how you create a function through ES6 standards. So this is a new way of creating functions using arrow. It's called an arrow function. Okay, so you create a function like this, parenthesis and then equal to and greater than sign, and then you open the curly brackets. Okay, that's how you do that. So yeah, we are tracking for the click event, and whenever we click, this should happen. So what we can do here is we can just just to check whether it's working or not, I'm gonna place a console log here, and I can say click, save it. And now what I'll do is I am opening the inspect tab here in Chrome, and I will go to console, and here when I click on this, you can see that I can see something printing in the console which says click. That means the whole connection which I made, the JavaScript file is connected, and when I'm clicking on it, you can see that the number beside click here is increasing. So that means everything works fine. So that's really great. And now what we can do is we can finally add the animation that we want. So what do we exactly want? We want to access the class list of icons, and we want to toggle something. As I said, just focus on the words that I'm speaking. We want to access the class list of that particular element, which is icons, and we want to toggle one class which is known as open, right? We want this to happen. Open add, like this, open, and then open remove. We want exactly this to happen. So how to do that? We'll go to JavaScript, and here we'll write that I want to access the class list. So icons dot class list, and then inside that class list I want to toggle something. So dot toggle, and what are we toggling? What is the class name? So give that inside quotes, and the class name is open. Save it, and that's all you need to do. Now when you click on this, you will see that every time you click, the animation opens up and then closes. It's very abrupt. There is no moving out or moving in kind of thing happening here. That's because we haven't added an animation transition to this element. So that we need to add. That's just 1 or 2 lines. But yeah, the main functionality, you have got it, right? So yeah, you finally have the final position and the initial position, and when you click on it, it's working. So let me know in the chat box if it's working for you or not. Those who were following along, let me know that after writing these 6 lines, is it working? Is it opening? Okay, Akshat says yes, great. What about others? Okay, let's see if you have done it or not. Also, the recording for this whole session, if you want to revise anything or you want to go back to some point, so you can watch it on YouTube. We'll be sending the link in the community itself. Okay, and for those who are watching this later on YouTube, I'll be leaving the link to our community down in the description, so you can go ahead and join the community. It's a great place for all kinds of students, and not just web development. We keep on having sessions on various other domains as well, like marketing, design, and even we're going to include finance, startups very, very soon. So yeah, it's a great place for students, so do consider joining the community. Okay, so I guess most of you were like not following after the CSS part. You got confused and you left it there. Okay, fine. Let me just finally add that transition effect so that the animation looks smooth, so that you will have the final product with you. So I'm gonna go to style.css, and here all I need to do is that all of this is happening at once. So we need to have some kind of delay. Okay, some kind of delay that in this much seconds this should happen. So for that, we'll go back to icons, because this is something which is changing. So whatever is changing, you need to grab those things, the parent of those. So this is the parent, and this is what is changing, right? The clip path is changing. So this is the parent, this is the main element. So we're gonna write here transition all. So all the transition, whatever is happening, 200 milliseconds. That's a pretty neat duration for any animation basically. Okay, and then we say that ease in out. That's the kind of easing you should have, not linear, not sinusoidal or something, but ease in and ease out. Very, very smooth animation. And save it, and now you will see that the background actually has that ease in and ease out animation working on it. The background grows and then shuts down, grows and then shuts down. Okay, so that's a really great thing that we have. And now what else is changing? Our icons are changing, right? They are coming from the center towards the endpoints. So we need to grab the centered part, and centered part is basically nothing but the dot icon class, right? Dot icon class, that is the main class for this. So here again, let me copy the same thing. Okay, transition all, 200 milliseconds, ease in out, and then drop it here, save it. Now if I close it down, you can see that it collapsed, and if I open it, you see that it goes. So now your whole animation is working. So did you get it, Akshat? Akshat was following along till the end. Let's see if Akshat got this animation or not. Okay, Akshat Kosya also got it. Akshat Mitra also got it. That's great. That's great. So now you finally have the animation that we are making for today. So this was all about the contact button animation. So the basic idea of it was the most time one thing that you figured out from this, or you might have figured out from this, is that the most time it goes whenever you create a project is in CSS. So CSS is something that you should master. Okay, you should make a lot and lots of projects in CSS. And after we were done with CSS. It was just 6 lines of JavaScript code which allowed us to animate this. So focus on CSS more and more, and once you are done with it, then dive deep into JavaScript. Okay, otherwise the basic concepts are enough for you to actually play around with all of these different kinds of animations and micro interactions, we call them. So you can create a lot of stuff like this. Okay, so I'm also gonna leave a CodePen link for this whole code. So for those of you who are not able to, okay, I see Aditi has also done it, and Shreyas has also done it. Can you also tell the text effect alongside, like in your website, the text slides off simultaneously? Okay, so basically, let me just tell you the effect. If I hover, you can see that this text color changes, and this particular text color changes, and the size increases. So that's just hover property of CSS. Okay, colon hover, and that's how you make that happen. And in the same way that on click here, I have done that this should expand and open like that, I have done the same thing to this text also. There's a class which gets added to it, which just removes it. Translate y, something minus 100, minus 100% or something. See, it just goes away. So that's the sliding of animation. So it's based on one class only. So you create the initial, you create the final, you have a dummy class, and it just happens. Okay, this is what I was talking about. You click on it, it slides off, and then it comes back in. So that's the animation. Two animations, hover and sliding. Okay, so I hope you liked today's session, and we were able to make this cool animation today. Okay, with all these different icons. Now you can go ahead and customize it, change the colors and all, add different different kinds of hover colors and everything, and other animations. Like in this one, we have that the plus icon turns when you hover on it, so you can use rotate property to turn it, and just go ahead, customize to your own use, and use it in your projects. Okay, can we have a session on carousel? I mean, own JavaScript CSS. Yeah, sure, we can have it. Like how to create a carousel, right? Image carousel or text carousel thoroughly through vanilla JavaScript and no library at all, right? That's what I'm asking for. Yeah, so if that's what you're asking for, to how to make it from scratch, then yeah, we can have that session also next time. Because you will have to know JavaScript properly for that one. So hands-on session, basically I like to keep them small interactions and animations, so that you're able to follow along when I code. Okay, because these things you can easily follow along, and you can create something of your own, and it feels nice when you create something and all. Okay, so that's why we focus more on these interactions, so that you understand CSS more. But that carousel would require proper knowledge about JavaScript. That is why we have not done it till now. But yeah, if you guys want it, we will do it later on in some week. Okay, our website has the option to install it as a web app. How can we do that to any website? So to make any website into a web app, there are 3 to 4 things that you need to do. First of all, your website should have a manifest file, and then it should have a service worker which lets you use it offline with all the codes and functions that you want to work offline. And then it also should have a sitemap, and it's a lot of JavaScript stuff that you need to do to enable it. But yeah, once you add those 3 to 4 files and write on the code in that, this option is enabled. Okay, so yeah, if you have any doubts, anyone, you can ask me right now. I'm here. Otherwise, thank you so much for attending, And yeah, I'll be posting this video on YouTube as well on the DokoGen channel, so you can go ahead, check it out and leave a like. Okay, so thank you so much for attending. You did not get 19th May. Acha, okay, 19th May. Okay, you're talking about the live project review. So Akshat, have you taken the web dev role? So let me just show you where it is. Okay, that will be much better, right? So wait. So this is the Doko Nation server, right? So first of all, make sure that you have taken this web dev role from here. Get your role. Okay, so once you do that, a new role is added called web dev to you. Okay, and that's when you will be able to see this web development category here. Okay, web development. Here in web development you will have this general. Okay, let me quickly shift this up. So let me repeat once more. Okay, so get your role, you grab your role from here, web development role, and then you will start seeing this particular web development category here. And in general you can find that here is where I have asked that should we do something like this, and then after that our team was ready with it. So here is how you can do this, okay, for the live project review. Okay, so go check it out. This is where it is, and yeah, that's it. Okay guys, so that's it for this whole session, and I hope all of you liked it. Do check us out on YouTube as well. We have other videos and other sessions as well. If you're not able to attend them live, you can find all the recordings, and we provide all the files and codes that we use in those. So yeah, you can definitely learn from them. And we have a lot of other events coming up. Like we have a event coming up on personal finance, on blockchain, crypto, and on other hands-on sessions on UI UX and design. So a lot of stuff is about to come during this week and the upcoming weeks. So yeah, stay tuned to the community if you're not a part of it. For the viewers watching us on YouTube, the link is in the description, you can grab it there. And yeah, thank you so much for supporting us and the community, and I'll see you guys in the next session. Thank you so much.